Hey there, everybody. This is Anna from the Faithful Dove, also known as Anna Care Coaching. I am a life coach. If you guys read my read or saw my last video, I talked about the hell that I went through um, with a kidnap. It's called date kidnapping. I am almost a year completely out of that, except for he does email me every now and then. Um, So we'll talk about that later. I'll talk about some things that I learned later. But today I want to talk about how to save a dying relationship. And when I say dying relationship, I don't mean a toxic one. Toxic ones, get out, run, prepare whatever you have to do. Do not. You cannot save it if the other person is not willing to be there. But in that same message, I also want to say you cannot save a relationship at all if the other person is not interested. The first thing I want you to understand is the difference between love and limerence. Love and limerence feel the same, but the signs of limerence are the person is not giving you what you want or has said they're not interested in you, and yet you've caught feelings for them and you continue to try. It's basically you've become obsessed because you feel this connection with them. It's not healthy, it's never going to work out. Let go. True love is when two people love each other, respect each other. You're not perfect, but you're not trying to hurt each other's feelings. For instance, you send them a nice text message and they either like it's romantic and they either make a nasty comment back, say you're feeling in the mood or whatever, and they send back, well, I only gave it to you last night because you were begging. That's not healthy. And I'm sure someone who did this to me is going to see this and be upset, but um the one thing I've realized is that everybody has problems, and should you put up with something like that, um, if you're getting that on a constant basis, if every nice thing you try to do, they turn into something bad, then no. Okay. But if you're partly to blame and you both have issues that you need to work on, contact me and tell me the situation and I'll tell you, because literally it's very individual. Okay. One of the things you have to realize is also your endorphin levels will go up and down. Um, your endorphin levels at the beginning of a relationship, they're high. Sometimes you see you're happy, go lucky, cloud nine, what they call it. Everybody experiences that. You see things and you're being patient, or for the most part, you're excusing them. I don't believe that anybody misses signs. I believe in the beginning where we just don't give a hoot. We're happy and that's all that matters. It's very important that you stay grounded in the beginning of a relationship. It's also very important that you understand as your relationship progresses. Um, Usually around, for different people, it's different times. It can be around 6 months to a year. Some people take 2 years. When everything is settled down and those feelings have settled down, you have to realize that was the endorphin levels. That's not real love either. Okay. What that is your brain, you're happy, everybody's on their best behavior. And I'm not saying your mate would act bad on you, but I'm just saying that we tend to be so happy that we don't show our full real selves and how we handle things. Um, I want to say that I try to be straightforward, but even I get wrapped up in that. And the biggest problem with all of us is romanticizing someone we just met. I get calls every day for people who just met someone or they're in a couple months of it, 2, 3 months of it, and they wanna know what's gonna happen, okay? There should be no expectations at all during that time because that is the time the levels are raised. You don't know that person, even if you've had small arguments or even big ones. Well, if you've had big arguments, then that's a sign you need to leave. Anyway, don't do that to yourself. Don't and we catch ourselves doing it because we're like, oh, this guy or girl, they're beautiful. They have a beautiful soul. We're really connecting with them, and then we tend to set up in our head, ooh, we start thinking about the future, and even if we don't think that far ahead, even if we're just saying to ourselves at that point, oh, I just went out on the best date, or I've been dating this guy for a month, this girl, they're wonderful people, blah 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 blah, just someone you could totally see and you're not at that point your endorphin levels are too high. You can't trust yourself to have no expectations. Okay. Now, do I believe in love at first sight? Yes. It's very crucial that you go through all the dating steps still, because even if you have an immediate connection, there are people who have an immediate connection. They get married, they live 40, 50, 60 years, they're perfectly happy. But most of us is not that way. Don't live in the fantasy world. And I'm not saying those people don't have problems. I'm saying that they don't give up at every little thing. Like, you should be able to have a disagreement and a different opinion from your partner. But let's talk about when you start arguing and you're like, what the heck is going on? Um, and things start happening. He or she tells you, you know what? I've lost feelings for you. I don't think this is going to work out. I don't feel the same as I did in the beginning. Um, well, first of all, everyone's high on endorphins in the beginning, so they should not even be counting that. Should you try to help them to understand that? No. Okay. You're all grown-ups. Let them figure it out on their own. If they think that, especially if you're older, more mature couple, and they still think that cloud nine feeling is love, no. That's a sign that they're not going to grow up, basically. Also, can you save this relationship? It depends. Both of you have to be willing. Okay. Changes do have to be made, especially for middle age and up couples. Sometimes people don't want to change. Sometimes people are using the excuse, this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be. No, it's not who you are, it's your behavior. Okay. And you shouldn't be asking someone to change the core of themselves. Like, I'm a soft, gentle person, but I can't get feisty if you make me mad. And it just shouldn't be like that. But let's start in this. And yes, I wanted to say to you that I do work on Keen. I was working on their live advice side, and they stopped updating it, and errors were happening. I couldn't get on there. I couldn't effectively help my clients. So I think they're going to do away with it because years ago, when I first started in, I think, 2004, it was on this side. Okay. It was a category on this side for pastoral counseling. Well, my friend convinced me that a lot of people who go on there just to ask questions, they really need someone to talk to as well. So I I love my clients. I'm sticking it out, and I have noticed that my friend was right. So that's why I work on there. Am I intuitive? Yes. Do I know things that other people don't? Yeah. But my goal is to expose hidden feelings and the truth and to help you heal. One of the ways to do that is to empower you. And the first thing we need to do is be in reality. So here we are. How to save your relationship. This is a series of articles that is designed for regular relationship issues, not toxic ones. And I am pretty much an expert at it through experience, through helping other people, through helping myself. I'm not perfect, but you have to know that there's a myth out there that counselors have never been through anything. That's not true. Most counselors are counselors because they've been through it and they went and got education to help other people get through it. So I'm just going to read this and you can read along with me. Let me see if I can put this up. Make this, they keep changing this. Nope. Let me see here. By the way, I don't know why my face is red. And to those of you who were asking, I am doing better. My health, my lungs, but they gave me a shot of antibiotics to get the stuff out of my lungs. Um, as far as my relationship with my new man, we're struggling because both of us have had some really tough things in our life, but we're hanging in there. Okay, trying to understand that other person, as long as they don't go past your boundaries and limits, is okay. As long as they're not name calling you, as long as they're not abusing you, neglecting you, that's okay. So, and sometimes if you guys are both willing to be transparent and just tell each other, "Hey man, it's not you. I go through these phases where the world just gets to me and I just need to sit and play on my phone and the TV to drown the world out." That's cool too. If they want to come home, and I know we're eager to see our men and women when they come home, but if a lot of people when they come home, they just want to sit down for a minute and relax. So let them do that. Give them that time. But they should also be compromising with you. And I hate that word, but the truth is, you guys need to be given half and half. Okay. You give them their time every evening and they sit down and have a conversation with you like you exist. You have date night, you have his night alone, her night alone, the whole 9 yards. Okay. Let's see here. This is my Facebook page if anybody would like to join it. I'm still building this one up. If you have any questions or you're going through anything, you can post in the comments and I will try to help you. I do not post or redirect you other links inside of the comments. If someone's pretending to be me, they're not. Okay. So now that we have that up on the screen, I do that because some people like to read. This was a series of articles that I wrote, a series of 3. It says, as a relationship expert, I come across couples who are struggling to keep their love life alive. In today's fast paced world, it's not uncommon to see relationships hitting rough patches. But do you still care about your partner, but think you lost that love and feeling? No pun, that's a song. Trust me, we've all been there. But that does not mean it's over. You're just closed down out of frustration, or they're closed down out of frustration. But fear not, because I'm going to share with you some valuable tips on how to save your relationship. Again, this has to be both of you. First and foremost, communication is the key. It's essential to have an open and honest conversation where you both don't shy away from expressing your feelings and concerns. A relationship is a two-way street, and both partners need to actively participate in it. Secondly, you need to make time for each other. In our busy lives, we all get, like I said, caught up in work and commitments, and we come home and we just want to sit and do nothing. Okay. But it's very crucial to prioritize your relationship and make time for each other. Plan date nights, surprise each other with small gestures, and create memories together. Remember, it's the small things that matter. And, maybe your man or woman is not a hugger, but they could at least brush up on you, when you pass in the hall. They can look in your eyes. They can do other things that create an intimate experience because that's what women need, okay? This is the hardest. Listening to understand without interrupting. Listening to understand rather than to have a response to it. You need to both sit and listen to each other. Try not to get offended by what they need from you. Stick to no name calling, no blaming. Uh, Hey, babe, can we talk? I really, I've noticed that you've been distant lately. I feel, I feel like sad when I come in here and I sit down after giving you your time alone and you don't even know I'm here and I'm trying to talk to you. Um, I feel sad that we're not going out on date night anymore. I feel sad that there hasn't been any relations. And don't forget to listen to what they say. And trust me, this is very hard. I'm going through this right now. Okay. Um, Based on past pain and trauma, we're both trying to deal with things ourselves and we should be reaching out to each other. When you have had past pain and trauma, sometimes you do not realize until you get in a relationship with someone that you still have a problem with it. It can be even years later and you're still having a problem with it. So be patient with yourself and be mindful of how you're behaving. Take time to understand the person. Really open your mind and both of you work towards a common goal. Never underestimate the power of a small gesture. A simple I love you, a hug, even just a touch or a smile can create a needed connection. Never let your partner feel like they are alone. It only takes a few minutes to revive and keep a relationship alive. That is true. Literally a couple minutes a day, and you don't have to be all like, you don't have to be that couple. Remember the reasons that you fell in love with your partner. They love you and didn't close off or act up for no reason. They're still there, but complications have gotten in the way. So step back, take responsibility for your part, and put a little effort in. You'll be glad you did. Okay. Now, in order to do that, you have to understand, and guys are always saying girls are crazy, and girls are always saying guys are assholes. Let's try to understand how God created us, how we were designed. First of all, we're going to talk about love languages later, but understanding the man and woman, okay, you have to understand each other the way we were designed. It's important to understand each other's love language and how men and women work. A study of women polled concluded that most women begin to act angry and closed off when they feel ignored, not a priority, and most commonly misunderstood by their partner. This is because women are emotional and need to connect with you. If you become quiet, closed off, and are ignoring them for no reason, they tend to try to figure it out. Yes, we do. You do not want my answers to your unanswered questions. When I ask you what's going on, the woman will just spin. We're emotional. That's what we do. If you're having a bad day, or say you're dealing with your baby mama issues or an ex, are you closing down on your partner? Are you in need of having a few moments or hours to regroup yourself? For a man, when the world becomes too much for a man, he tends to go into his nothing box. Literally, girls, when you ask a guy what he's thinking and he says nothing, he has the ability to do that. Wouldn't we love that box? They can become complacent, ignore the world, including you. He doesn't mean to do this, it's just an automatic response. However, sharing those times you need to regroup with your partner rather than just doing it, guys, can help her to understand it was not her. You're not abandoning her or worse. Never let a woman guess what the issue is, as she will always get it wrong. Women tend to beat themselves up when something in a relationship is not right, especially when you physically or mentally ghost them. You have to let a woman know it wasn't her. Hey, honey, it's not you. The world is just getting work got to me. Everything's been crazy and I just need to chill. Okay? Reassure her. Goes a long way. And you think that that's insecurity on her part, but it's not. Because when you guys go into your nothing box, you tend to go in there for a week or more. Okay? When you have to let a woman know it wasn't her or she'll blame herself, get upset, and then bad things happen. A little, like I said, a little bit of communication goes a long way to keeping the relationship alive. Remember, the end result is that you want to keep this person in your life. Okay? And ladies, try to respect his nothing box time. As long as he's open about when he needs it, that is not you, and you're aware it's happening, to just let him have the time. Guys, be open with your mate. Reassure them that it's not them, and don't spend prolonged periods of time in that box or you're going to lose her. She needs attention. This is the way we're designed. Some time is okay, but get relief. Work through your issue, reach out to a friend about it, and then leave the nothing box and spend time with your woman. I can't stress that enough. Women are driven by their emotions. That is what makes them want to solve the issues right now. We get this painful desperation to make things feel whole again. What do you do if your man is not ready to have a talk right then and there, ladies? How do you calm your emotions and wait for him to be ready? This is something I struggled with because, and I'll tell you why, because I've noticed that guys tend to want to avoid it altogether. They never come back and have that conversation with you. Okay. So oftentimes when I say, look, you know, we need to talk, it means I want to resolve something that I'm feeling and there's a problem going on. When are you available to talk? Well, a guy will say tomorrow. And then the next thing I know, I'm going, okay, we decided to do it tomorrow at 4. And tomorrow at 4, he doesn't want to deal with it either. Okay. And women are, you may be able to go into your nothing box, but a woman, these emotions are very painful. Okay. She's stuck with them. Okay. She can't turn them off. All she wants to do is solve the problem. Okay. I know, ladies, the hardest thing to do, especially if the issue has been eating at you, is to wait. But can you ask him when he'll be ready to talk? And men, actually give her the date and time soon. Avoiding the issue only makes the solvable issue become bigger and it turns into other problems. Problems that are going to break you up. Honor and respect how God created us all. We have a purpose that together actually balances each other out. Don't take advantage of each other's weaknesses. Rather, honor them with your strengths and be understanding. You cannot change the core of a man or a woman. That is set in stone. But you both can change learned behaviors, as they're always what's the root cause. Someone Someone's behavior came into question. Instead of solving it, you play the blame game or tear each other down for their weaknesses. What end result do you want it to be? Do you really want to hurt that person and create an impasse that breaks you up over something that started out so small that a tiny behavioral change could fix? This is a process, one that takes time. So don't expect a full change overnight. You have to be mindful and understand habits are hard to break. So we're both going to mess up. As long as you catch yourself, apologize, and the behavior's intermittent, not constant, and you're improving, you could both work towards a peaceful, happy solution. I want you to reread these articles. I feel like there's good information in there, and I know this stuff works because I've tried it. It's just hard to. I'm feisty and I've been hurt so much in my life. It's hard for me to stop myself. This is a process. I get to the point where I can, And then I get to the point where I can't. And that's why I'm being mindful, because I'm recognizing that when things are overloaded and I can't. Okay. And sometimes it means taking a break from it. Not each other, but if you both are upset and say you've been constantly arguing for 3 days, a week, whatever, try this. And I'm telling you, as much as I don't want to when I'm mad, it actually helps. Let go of it. Find something that you both love to do and go do it. Okay? Something that doesn't draw you to talk about that problem that you're having, something that distracts your mind, something that reestablishes why you got together in the first place. If the movies are a non-pressure place where you both like a certain movie, go see it. Focus on the movie. Okay? Because what happens when you're under duress is your body shuts down. It shuts down your brain. You're still functioning, but you're not functioning clearly. Okay? You're functioning emotionally, or sometimes not at all. Okay. The other thing that's a big misconception is love languages. There are many, many love languages. What is your love language? What is your partner's love language? That means, how do you show love? Okay. I can tell you this right now. Most men show their love in the form of intimate relations. But what that means sex. But what other things does your partner do that shows he loves you? Does he fix your car when it's broken? Does he worry over your health and go to the doctors? Um, does he try to share his life with you? Okay. That can all be love languages. Sharing what he loves with you. But go to Google and look up love languages, and you will find many. And maybe these aren't your love languages, but maybe there, and I know there is. Your love language is out there. Once you know your love language, and once you sit down and you think about, okay, this is my partner. This is how he's been showing me he loves me. Like he doesn't really hug me, but he's always worried over my health, and he fixes my car, or he gets it fixed for me. That may be his love language. Maybe that's not your dreamy romantic love language that you want, but that's who he is. Okay. My love language is giving gifts, worrying over, and taking care of my man. His love language is sex, hanging out, and having fun. Guys are not that complicated. Understanding and accepting each other's love languages can help to avoid misunderstandings. And even if you're not a hugger, there are other ways that you can show someone you love them. Women are designed to connect with touch. Sorry, guys, you can't get out of that. What can you do to help her understand you love her and desire her if you're not a hugger? Be honest with her and ask her what will help. You know, open up. Tell her you care about her, you love her. And yes, guys, we need to know this on a regular basis. If you go a couple weeks or a month without saying one, I love you, we automatically think you're done with us. For me, any touch will help. Love making to me is just um okay, how do I say this? For me, any touch will help. Okay, we walk past each other in the hall, and he gives me a little tickle or he brushes up against me. I'm all for that stuff. Love making to me is not just having relations. It's not just about sex. There's an emotional aspect, and too many of us grew up thinking that sex meant somebody loves you. Even the girls who remained a virgin until they got married think that sex is love. And though it's very intimate with someone you care about, it's not the only way. And a lot of people need to learn to do the little things, the eye contact, the little touches here and there as you walk past the hall, the adorable smile, or when someone looks at you and they're totally in love with you and you can tell, that stuff. If you're busy on your phone all the time or watching TV or doing other things and you never make eye contact with the person you care about, especially for a woman, it feels like we have a life battery. I call it the heart, and how you show people you love and you get reciprocated in love. But if you're not doing that, if you're not making eye contact, if you're spending most of your time on your phone or texting some other people, if you're giving someone else attention, you're worried about your friend on Facebook, that's really cool that you're okay. You're talking to them, especially if it's the same sex as your partner. And you're talking to them, you're making sure they're okay, but you're not doing that for your significant other, or if you're putting her last. Like if you tell her, "Hold on, I'm texting someone," or "Hold on, I want to watch this video." When she needs you, that doesn't feel good to us. Um, so I'm sorry, men, but this is the way women were designed by our creator. It's not something you can change or avoid. She needs touch and some sort of reinsurance, and she needs complete transparency. So when you're having a problem with the world and it's not her, you have to let her know. Okay. And watch how you say things. Okay. Think before you speak. If you know your partner and you know it's going to hurt her feelings, pick a different way or get some advice from go to, if you love her enough, go to a friend that's a girl and say, "Look, man, I have a habit of having verbal diarrhea. I have a habit of poor communication. I'm trying to tell the woman I love this. And how can I tell her in the most gentle way? Or how can I reassure her? How can I make things better?" Ask a woman what another woman wants. Okay. She'll tell you, and she'll tell you how to say it to not hurt a woman's feelings. But sometimes the truth is there's no way to not. There's some topics everybody's feelings are going to get hurt, but it doesn't have to get out of control. Sometimes the truth hurts people too. So you can't avoid that. And the longer you avoid that discussion about problems in your relationship, the more resentment that's going to be there. And even though you're trying to pretend everything's okay, that other person knows. They can feel it. So, guys, go back through these articles, read them, guys, girls, and let's start changing this world into something that we've lost. We have lost the ability to unconditionally love someone and accept them. Accepting of a person does not mean accepting their abuse and the toxicity. These are for regular relationships. There's rarely a person in this world who hasn't been hurt. There's rarely a person who doesn't give up when they have changes they know they need to make. It's become a very selfish world. And if you love your partner and you want to be with your partner, accept your responsibility, accept what you've done, and change what you've done. It's not who you are, it's the behavior. Nobody deserves bad behavior. This is Anna from the Faithful Dove, Anna Care Coaching. I am here. I'm one of them women you can contact and ask questions about your lady. I also have the ability to um, see both sides. So give me a call. Let's get this solved. Let's put effort into love again. Like, share, and follow. Thank you. Bye.